Just have to accept that recording. Sorry to disturb you if you've already gotten nice and comfy. Just quick accept and then you can head right back to your spot. So happy Monday, everyone. Making it through the snow. Maybe you left your house, maybe you didn't. I did not. But thankful we're all able to get here safely tonight to do our practice together. So when you're ready, just choosing either seated or lying down. Wherever you want to be is exactly where you need to be. So if you've chosen seated, maybe you want the legs crossed, you can sit on a pillow, you can sit on a block, a bolster. If you're lying down, you're welcome to have a blanket on as well. Whatever it is that you need to just settle into your space. So just take the first few moments to get out any little wiggles, any little shifts, any little stretchy movements that your body might be looking for tonight. And if you're comfortable, you can close the eyes or just bring the gaze downwards, or the gaze can fix on a point in front of you in the room. And then one of the most beautiful things that I think about an evening practice, so a practice at the end of our day, or end of the day for most of us, is that we've moved with our body the entire day. So just take a few moments and acknowledge and recognize what is the story in your body today. And it may not be the same as yesterday and probably won't be the same as tomorrow, but just notice physically what sensations came up for you today in the body. Maybe a certain area of the body was talking to you a little bit louder today. Just notice that area and just take note. This little check-in with yourself, feeling free to continue with just some gentle movement, maybe some wiggles, some little twists, just to notice anything physical. And how does it feel for yourself if you stop moving? So if you just allow the body to be heavy onto your mat. Just some gentle movement. Ask yourself, where do you feel that support of the earth? Support of your mat. Do you feel it in through the back of your head if you're lying down, maybe the backs of the shoulder blades? Maybe down in through the hips, maybe the thighs and the feet. What is grounding you to your mat tonight? What's anchoring you physically? idea of groundedness. Ask yourself, what could ground you to your practice tonight? What could help you stay present and connected to your physical space as you move through your practice? For some of us, this could be a mantra, a statement that we repeat over and over to ourselves. For many of us, it could be that breath. It's going to help ground your mind, keep yourself present and focused. The equation a little bit more fully. If you wish, you can place your hands onto your belly and just take a few breaths to feel that movement of the belly beneath the hands. Maybe you're breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, maybe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Whatever's comfortable. Yourself a statement that you wanted to repeat. Just taking the next few breaths to do so now with your hands on your belly, really feeling that connection as you inhale your statement and exhale, release the breath. If a statement didn't readily come to mind, maybe you use one as simple as, I am here. I am here. Keeping that statement that you've chosen for yourself really at the forefront of your mind. It's going to help us be very mindful and continue to keep that connection as we move through the physical part of our practice. Sometimes we can lose that when we start to bring in some movement. Start to bring some sways from side to side with the body, maybe some little wiggles of the fingers and of the toes. Keep your eyes closed for a few more moments if you would like. Just start to move that body. And maybe you notice that those movements start out small, but then gradually they get bigger, more full. Making your way into a full body stretch. So if you're lying down, you can reach those arms all the way up overhead. If you're seated, you can reach those fingertips up towards the sky, really open through that chest. And on that exhale, relax. Good, let's do one more together wherever we are. Nice inhale, reach up. Full body. And exhale, release. Good. If you're lying down, you can slowly start to make your way over onto one side. And then gently come up into a comfortable seat. Take your time. Again, you can sit on a pillow or on a cushion. And Once you've made your way to that seat, let's come into that inhale again once more. So inhale, reach, lift those arms, bring that gaze. And exhale, draw those hands towards your heart, tuck the chin towards the chest. Good, one more time. Let's reconnect with that mantra, that statement we came for ourselves. Inhale. Good, this time on your exhale, repeat that mantra to yourself. Bring it into your heart. Pause here for a moment. You can open the eyes if they were closed. We'll bring the right hand over towards the right side. Reach, peel, lift, stretch that left arm all the way up and over towards the right hand side. So nice length through the left. You can even bring that gaze up towards the left elbow. Great opportunity to roll through the left wrist, one direction, then the other. You can splay the fingers, curl the fingertips into a ball. Into that core lift, using those abdominals, reach the right arm back up towards the sky, reach everything up to center, and then exhale, bring everything down in front of you. So wherever those fingertips land, just leave them there. It doesn't need to be far out in front, and just gently rock from side to side. If you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can walk those fingertips a little bit more forward. We're still just waking that body up nice and slow. Back forward to center. Switch whatever leg was in front if you had your legs crossed. So whatever one feels less natural, that's the one that's in front now. We'll take that inhale to reach, lift all the way back up. This time left hand comes down, right fingertips reach all the way over. Again, play around with those fingers, play around with that wrist. Awesome. After that next exhale, engage through the core, lift everything up through the center, nice reach. Good, and then this time we're going to exhale, bring the fingertips behind. So the fingertips are going to point away from us. We're going to open up through that chest and gently bring that gaze a little bit more towards the ceiling. So that opening through the chest, that opening through the heart, but still supported by the hands. Take 3 full breaths. Through into our tabletop position. So just set your cushion, your props off to the side for now, and then set yourselves up into your tabletop position. So usually with tabletop, we say wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, but if it's more comfortable for you to play with a wider stance with either your hands or with your knees, feel free to do so. You can see how it feels to tuck and untuck the toes, and then just start by swaying gently forwards and back. So it's almost like you're going to come into a child's pose. You're sinking those hips down towards the heels, but not quite. Again, you can tuck and untuck the toes. See how that feels for the bottom of the feet. Let's come back to that neutral tabletop position, and we'll come to our cat-cow. So toes tucked or untucked, your choice. Let's inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, bring the gaze forward. And then exhale, round, push the mat away, tuck the chin towards the chest, find that rounding. Good, inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. Nice, exhale, round, push that mat away. Go ahead and continue with that pattern of movement. Again, feel free to bring in that toe tap. You can bring in some side to side movement, some bending of the elbows, whatever feels good for you. One more of each before we meet back into that neutral tabletop. Beautiful. Then from here, walk those hands just slightly more forward. Send that right leg long behind you so those toes are tucked. And then just find that shift again, forwards and back. Just that nice little rock. Then we're going to come into a very gentle twist. So you're going to take those right toes, cross them over top of the left foot, and then bring the gaze over the left shoulder. So you're trying to peek towards those right toes. Let's take one more full breath. Nice. Bring that right leg. Bend that knee, bring it back beside the left. Let's switch right up to the left-hand side. So extend those left toes back behind you, lengthen through that left leg, and then find that rocking forwards and back. And then come right into that gentle twist. So cross the left over the right, bring the gaze over the right shoulder. Good, full complete breath. Good, and then uncross that left, bring it back beside the right. Nice. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to kickstand that left foot. So we're going to kickstand that left foot off of the mat. And then we're going to extend that right leg long. So I'm going to just come up. We're going to stay down, but just so you know which way I'm going in the long edge of the mat, my left knee's pointing towards the mat and my right leg's extended. We're going to stay down onto the mat. You might want to grab a block if you have one, if that's comfortable for you. The left hand's going to come down to the mat or to the block, and we're going to reach the right arm up towards the sky. So some might know this as a modified side plank, side angle. What we really want to find here is that opening through the heart, opening through the chest. And when we do this, we're pushing out through that left hand, either onto the block or to the mat, and we're reaching, extending through those right fingers. But taking full breaths. Bring that right hand back down, circle everything back towards the mat. We're going to come right to that other side. So that right hand is going to stay planted. The right foot's going to kickstand off of the mat. The left leg extends and the left arm extends up towards the sky. Again, find that opening, find that stability, that push to the right hand, and the reach, the length through the left. And take a very gentle child's pose. So you can have the knees wide towards the long edges of your mat. The arms can be outstretched in front of you, or you can just come down to your forearms. You won't be here for too long. Just take a few moments to sway, to breathe. Up into that tabletop. We're going to come into that side angle on the opposite side, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a challenge here, a little challenge physically, but also mentally, which is where we're going to use that statement that we came up with at the beginning of class. So we're in our tabletop. We're going to kickstand that left foot off the side of the mat. That left hand's going to come to the block or to the mat. We're going to come right back to that side angle. So the right arm is reaching up, the left hand is pushing down into the mat. So this is familiar at this point for us. So just take a full breath to adjust to this posture. Good, and then from here, if you'd like to come along, you can start to try to hover that right leg. So that right foot can be flexed, right toes towards shins. A little bit harder, so you're feeling those glutes start to engage, that core start to engage. We're gonna hold this for 4 breaths. You can close the eyes, and I want you to try repeating that mantra to yourself. Maybe it was, I am here. Whatever it was, repeating it to yourself 4 times and breathing. That mind to your mat, that mind of the body. After that next round, lower the right leg down. Reach those right fingertips all the way up overhead. Take a nice full stretch of that right side. Down to that tabletop position. Flush that out with a few cat-cows. Do your best to not anticipate what we know is coming for the other side, but just really staying in that moment, feeling that movement, feeling that breath. Bring that on to the opposite side. So this time from our tabletop, that right hand is going to stay planted, right foot's going to kickstand off of the mat, that left leg extends. Take that full breath in to find that posture. And then again, staying here is always an option, but if you wish, you can hover that left leg, again, squeeze through that left glute, start to engage through your abdominals. 4 breaths. Repeat that statement to yourself. Ground yourself to this moment. Feel your body, feel your breath. You're so close. Drop that left arm, reach all the way up overhead. Back to the center, and then take a nice child's pose. So again, knees can come wide, arms can reach out in front of you. Child's pose isn't comfortable for you. Come to a posture that's comfortable for yourself as a little bit of a rest. So connected, and our mind is so powerful that using those statements can really help us get through when things maybe don't feel physically the most comfortable in the body. You're welcome to stay here if you wish, or you can come into a downward facing dog. Again, it's totally up to you, totally whatever is within your practice. So a down dog, a tabletop, or a child's pose for about another 3 breaths. And then from wherever you are, you bring in some movement. If you're in your down dog, maybe you're walking your dog. Lifting and lowering one heel then the other. Bring your child's pose or your tabletop, maybe your swing. Then from wherever you are, gaze comes to the hands, as many steps as you need. brings you up to the front of your mat. We're in that forward fold position. So if you prefer forward fold with a block or with something to help elevate the chest, you're welcome to grab that. Or if you prefer to just hang out there, fingertips coming towards the ground, you're welcome to do that too. We'll take a few breaths here. Hands to shins, bring that gaze forward, find that nice long spine. And then exhale, bend through the knees, round yourself back down. One more time, inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Then let's slowly make our way up to standing nice and slow, push through those feet. As you rise, circle, lift, reach those arms all the way up overhead. Bring your hands down into your heart. Take a few moments in our Tadasana. What I would really invite you to do here is, if you're comfortable in your Tadasana, is to close your eyes. Really feel that softening sensation through the shoulders. So even if you take a full breath in with the shoulders up towards the ears, and then when you release, just let them fall down the back body and see if you can keep them there. Your hands can be at your heart, your hands can be on your belly, your hands can be in prayer. They were closed. We'll take a full breath in to reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale to bring the hands down to your heart, tuck the chin towards the chest. Then let's put once more. Inhale, reach up with those fingertips. And exhale, bring everything into your heart. Beautiful. Let's bring those hands to the hips. We're going to lead the right foot forward, step that left foot back. We're going on to a 45-degree angle. We're coming into our warrior one. So those hips are still tracking forward. And once you feel like those hips are facing as best they can to the front of your mat, you can open up those arms, fingertips towards the sky, and soften those shoulders down. This is your warrior one. So take a few breaths here. Feeling that strength, that stability, that groundedness beneath the feet. Here, bring the hands to the hips. Take that left foot back a little bit more, parallel it to the short edge of your mat, and come right into your warrior two. So you may need to widen that stance a little bit longer. So that right foot is forward, that right knee tracking towards baby toes, and then extend those arms, soften the shoulders, gaze over the right fingertips. Feeling that opening, that stretch through both of your hips. And then with each exhale here, can you ground down a little bit more? So for some of us, when we ground down, it may be that we're coming even a little bit more into that right knee. For others, it could just be the sensation of that heaviness a little bit more into the feet. Take a few breaths to see if you can ground yourself down into this pose, whatever that means for you. Exhale, drop the back arm, lift the front arm up, find a nice exalt, some nice opening through the front body. Here, start to pivot everything back towards the front of your mat. Step that left foot back up to meet its partner. Let's take that full breath in. Exhale, swan dive, come back to that forward fold. You can take that stance a little bit wider if it's comfortable to have the feet come off of the mat. Maybe you want to bend a little bit more richly into one knee and then the other here. Maybe you just want to hang out. You can hang with opposite hands, opposite elbows. Excuse me, you could come down and do that. Into that halfway lift. So find that nice inhale, hands come to shins, find that length through the spine. Good, and then exhale, come back to that fold. And one more time, inhale halfway. Exhale to fold. Good, let's root to rise. Let's bring ourselves all the way back up to standing. Push to the feet, reach, lift, open those arms. This time come into a gentle heart opener, cactus arm. So bend the elbows 90 degrees. Open up through that chest. Feel the shoulder blades gently come together. Try not to puff out too much through the stomach. Keep that core gently engaged. So that opening through your heart. To our hips and come right back into that warrior one on the opposite side this time. So left foot's going to stay forward. Right foot's going to step back on that 45 degree, and we're going to check in that those hips are tracking towards the front to start. Good. And then let's come with those arms. Lift those arms up and then soften those shoulders down. Good. Taking our breaths here nice and strong. Again, if this is too much for the arms, you can always bring the arms down to your side. Hands can come to your heart. Good. Taking one more full round of breath. Step that right foot back, parallel the short edge of your mat, and then come into that warrior two. So once you set yourself up, you can extend that left arm forward, right arm back. And then just giving the side the same focus and attention that you did the other. So we focused on really that grounding, that sense of heaviness down into the mat through our hips and through our feet. So do the same thing here on this side. Even closing the eyes can really help draw yourself inward. So drop the back arm, lift the front arm up, find that stretch. Everything back to the center. Step that right foot up to meet its partner, the left. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive back down into that fold. Again, maybe choosing something different for yourself with that fold. If last time you did opposite hands, opposite elbows, maybe this time you want to bring your hands to a block or your hands to a book in front of you. You kept pretty still last time. Maybe this time you want to bring in a little bit more movement. Just switch it up. Keep that body guessing. Gentle bend through the knees, start to circle, lift, reach ourselves up to standing, hands into your hearts. Here we're going to step that left foot back. We're going to step that left foot back right into that warrior two. So set yourself in for that familiar posture. We've been here before. Settle yourself there. And then once you're ready, we're going to come into a posture that you may have already predicted just based on how we started the class. We're going to come into a version of side angle. So we're going to take that right arm, rest it onto the right thigh, reach that left arm up towards the sky. So similar to what we did when we were down on our knees. Only this time, a lot more of the body is working. So you're pushing up through those feet, keeping that core engaged the whole time. Gaze can come up towards those fingertips. Just see how that feels on this side. Engage as you draw yourself back up to that warrior two. Good. From here, I'm going to get you to switch. So you're probably going to be facing the back of your mat. So now the front of your mat is going to become the back of your mat. Your left foot is going to be forward. Your right foot is going to be the back of your warrior two. And you're right back in that warrior two on the opposite side. If you want to, you can just do like a quick little switch instead. So that left foot is forward. We're back in that warrior two. Side angle. So left arm is going to go down, right arm is going to reach up. Back up through center. Let's take a moment in center. So we'll face our toes towards the long edges of our mat, toes slightly more in than the heels. Take a nice inhale to reach up and an exhale to bring the hands down in front. Your hands can come to a block, they can come to the floor. We're in a wide leg forward fold, so a wide stance. Slow bend into those knees, roll ourselves all the way up. And we're going to come back to that warrior two, this time with the right foot facing forward. So that left foot is on the back, paralleling the short edge. And I'm going to bring my block to the inside of my right foot. If you have one, you might want to do the same. So from that warrior two, we're going to go into that little challenge posture, that one where we can really use our mantra, use our breath to help us connect to our body. So from here, we're going to take that right hand and we're going to lengthen through that right leg. We can bring that right hand down to the block or to the mat and lift those left fingertips up to the sky, coming into our triangle pose. So once we're here, and this one can be a tricky one, it can be a very intense stretch. We're going to come into 4 breaths. And we're going to repeat that mantra. Ground yourself to your mat. Bring yourself to this moment. Bend through that right knee, come back up into that warrior 2. Let's find an exalt. Just stretch it out the opposite side. So right arm lifts up. Good. We're going to come down and we're going to come right into that warrior 2 opposite side. So again, this time you might be facing away from me. That's okay. Or just do your little switch. I don't want to call it like a Spider-Man switch. I don't know if he moves like that. I'm not sure. I haven't seen enough of the Spider-Man movies. But either way, the left foot is in front, back foot is paralleling the short edge of your mat. You're into that warrior 2. And then we're going to come into that triangle. So if that block's coming along, just set it up. Left leg lengthens. Oh my goodness, my words. Right arms come up, right arm comes up towards the sky. Take those 4 breaths. Focus in on your statement. Into the left knee, come right into your exalt. Flush that movement out. Step back to the front of your mat. So just switch your position. Step both feet up to the front of your mat. Take a nice full breath in. And full breath out into that Tadasana. Just settle into the standing posture, taking 2 full breaths. Down to our mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bring yourself down. Bend through the knees, step 1 knee back and then the other. And then coming right into a seated posture. We won't be here for too long. So from your seat, you can bring the feet in front of you so that the knees are bent. Just tilt my screen a little bit because I'm not going to stand up anymore. So if you have your feet in front of you, your knees are bent. And then just start to windshield wiper those knees from one side to the other. You can do some continuous movement, or you can pause, take a full breath on either side. To each side, just one more time. Center, and you can slowly start to lower yourself down onto your back. If your plan is to end your practice on your back. If your plan is to end your practice seated, you can just stay seated. So once you get wherever you are going, just a few of those little wiggles, any little final movements your body may be looking for, a great opportunity for another one of those full body stretches. Maybe you want a happy baby. Just taking a few final movements before you settle yourself down. Slowly start to close your eyes. And like we did at the beginning of practice, those areas of support. Where is your body making connection with the mat? And where are you feeling that sense of groundedness? Really allow the body to sink deeply into your mat, to feel that support in all areas. Just giving yourself some time to rest. Shavasana, feel free to stay there, and you can even continue once our time together is finished. And as you slowly make your way up into a seat, do so again slowly, mindfully. Take your time. Once you're heart. If you wish, maybe gently bowing the chin towards the chest. Really focused on that connection between the movement of the physical body and our breath and our mind. So much to guide you in the practice. Week to be able to practice with you all. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much. It was wonderful.